Hi, everyone. I am live a few minutes early, and this is super exciting. It's the first time that I'm using StreamYard, and so it's just letting everyone know so they can hop on in the next couple minutes. And I'm not sure if, because this is the first time live, that I am seeing if I can stream this to another platform at the same time. That might be for the next live that I do that. I am set up, but I don't see any automatic buttons. 2 people are watching. Thank you so much. That's super exciting. So I will officially get started in about 40 seconds, but I wanted to make sure that I clicked that button just in case something wasn't the way I expected. And then I had a couple minutes to correct the situation. But this is so exciting. And we've got 2 minutes before 3 o'clock, but I think I'm just going to jump right in. So those that might be joining us in the next little bit can hop on. And actually, those of you who are watching right now, if you can type in the chat box or in the comments, just hi or whatever, I can see and test about seeing the comments. Okay, I've clicked where I need to see that, so that's good. So it's just navigating a new system. And what I will do in the future is conduct another live and record how I do this, because this is the first time that I have gone on YouTube live in through a different system. Before, when I've gone on live, I've just clicked that live button. But I think the camera quality, the quality of the recording might be better this way. So we'll see. So if you're watching right now, yay, hi Lucy, hi Bev, that is so awesome that you're watching me. Thank you so much. And so I'm going to jump in with a bit of a beginning agenda that I have, but then really any questions that you want to type in the comments box, or if there's something that you want me to talk about. Lucy's going to join me as a special guest in a little bit. Bev, you're welcome to as well. If you're interested, I can send you a special link too in a little while. Thank you, Lucy. Your congratulations so much. Thank you, Bev. It is awesome, the support over the last few years, and recently too, meeting people new and those that we've walked alongside each other for the last few years already. So welcome all of you, whether you're watching this live or you're watching the replay later. Welcome and thank you. My name is Patricia Regier with Regier Educational Services, and this channel has gone through being called Leaders Inspired, being called Trish Talks, intentionally Lead, Live, Learn has been sort of a motto for a while. We've always had the light bulb logo right from the start, but figuring out who I was on these platforms was something that was a bit of a process. So I want to thank you all for joining me, and super exciting. My goal has been to get to 100 subscribers on YouTube. And by the way, subscribing is free. It doesn't mean anything, but you letting YouTube know that these videos have value and people should find them. So you're basically letting the algorithm in YouTube know that the videos that go out every Tuesday can help somebody. So when you click subscribe, it doesn't cost anything, it doesn't push anything out, and you can hit the notification button if you want to know when new videos are there. But if you don't have to hit that notification, but you can still subscribe. So just to clarify that, because recently I found out that someone needed to know that clarification. 3 people watching, who's the third? So I have had this goal of 100 subscribers, still working on that goal. And when we have goals, sometimes we don't reach them exactly when we want to, but it's still a goal that we're stretching, reaching. And the reason why 100 is such a big deal is because as soon as I get to 100, I can then name the URL Patricia Regier instead of that big long list of letters. So that's a big deal. But 28 days ago, I had 39 subscribers, and so thankful for every single one of you. Over the last 28 days, 33 new subscribers have joined our channel. So thank you so much to all of you as well. Super exciting. So as I mentioned, first live on YouTube through StreamYard, and that should improve the quality experience that I can see your comments right away. And I am going to be able to bring on Lucy soon as our special guest. So, and then Bev, you let me know if you want me to, if you want me to send a link to you too in a little while that you hop, or all three of us. But I'm going to start with two of us at the first time. Tested this with my daughter the other day. This is brand new live. I'm going to be doing some draws and going through some other announcements. Super exciting. And we'll do that in just a little bit. I'm just checking and making sure through the agenda that I'm not missing anything. I'm going to be thanking clients from the last few years, some shout outs, and then what will happen after the live is finished, I will go in and put in a comment and pin a comment with the timestamps. And what that means is that if people want to skip shout outs or skip to a certain topic that we're talking about, it's sort of a table of contents agenda that people can then pick certain topics, especially when videos are a little bit longer or we've covered a lot of different things. It's great to have those timestamps. And that's something that I've started doing just a little while ago. So my first shout out, besides Lucy and Bev, who I'm super thrilled to be joining me. And there's a third person too. It's okay if you don't want to put your name in the comments, but I welcome you to do that as well. So shout out also to Heather Ramirez, because I've learned from so much from her channel, her fiance's channel on becoming a YouTuber and vlogger. And Bev knows as well, because we've been along this journey for a few years now, how much has been learned and how much growth for even being on camera, filming, editing. It's been a journey I have truly, truly enjoyed. So any questions you have for me or things that you would like me to talk about before I get into other things? See, normally on a recording, I don't pause because this is going to be unedited as well. So, oh, Bev, you would like to join me as well. So I will also get that code to you. So it's a special code that, and I'll just send that to you through Facebook Messengers, where I'm going to send it because that's an easy way. So Lucy is going to join me first, and let me just find you, Bev, and I'll send you that. And I can even share my screen on this as well. Oh, I saw who's totally watching, which is awesome. So comments, you scroll down, Leslie, all the way down to the bottom, and then you'll get to the comments where you can then type in your name. So it's awesome. I'm glad I hopped onto Facebook briefly so that I could share that and see that. So, you know, we're all learning, and it's great to be learning live. So Lucy, first, if you want to click that link that I sent you, you can hop on right now, and we'll do this live for the first time for both of us to bring someone on. I didn't even know that was possible on a YouTube live, that you could bring someone in. 5 people watching. This is so exciting. Awesome. This is so thrilling. Thank you for being part of this. I don't think I've even said why we're here at the beginning of this recording, that today is 3 years in business for me. When I registered my business name 3 years ago, exactly to the date. And that was such a big deal to take that leap. And I'll get into a little bit of the story and the journey. But okay, that's okay, Bev, that it doesn't work with Safari, which is totally okay. We're all learning this in action, which is sometimes the best way. So Lucy, if it works for you to click that, oh, you're here. I am. So I knew first time also, I did test this with my daughter, so I knew, but I wasn't paying attention that your picture popped up. So that's super exciting. I'm going to move over so I'm not like over the line. So thanks for joining me, Lucy. Yay! So live, this is so exciting that we can do this on YouTube live and not just do a recording or whatever, but that we can hop on.
So fun.
Yeah.
So fun.
Yeah.
I was doing boring bookkeeping stuff. Why bother? Let's jump on live with Patricia. I'm so awesome. Excited for you. 3 years in business. I wish I had confetti. I'd be dancing and being silly.
This is from the 2-year celebration. I bought.
I have nothing that I could reach for.
I have my bin of props and icebreaker activities right beside me.
We need to be excited. This is a big deal.
It is. They always say getting to 3 years, and then the next big thing is getting to 5 years. But
oh yeah,
for any new business, it doesn't matter how many years of experience we have before we jump into this entrepreneur business journey. It's a big deal to be doing this.
For sure, for sure.
You want to tell us a little bit more about you, Lucy?
Me? I'm in the trenches with you. I'm in the trenches with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, the self-employment is not for the faint of heart, not these days anyway.
No kidding.
So,
no kidding.
And you spoke earlier when you started talking about finding your voice on these platforms. I've evolved as well in my business. I come from a marketing communications background. I have a communications and business degree, and I used to be passionate about doing marketing for other people. And then somewhere in the middle, I found my own voice and that I had a message to share. And so I'm on this journey with you. I'm putting together a program and wanting to like really focus in. I'm passionate about the conversation that parents are having with teenagers, with young people. It's something that's really on my mind and on my heart all the time. And I know that this is where I'm meant to go and serve in the world. And that was a new thing for me. And so I totally relate to trying to find your voice, trying to find what, you know, how you serve others, how you earn your living, you know, and I think it's demanding all of us, the climate, especially now, like with the layer of COVID on top of all of it, to learn these technologies, to take the time to put ourselves out there in a new way. And it's brilliant and it's fun. And I just like, I love that you're taking a moment, a pause to celebrate and to learn something and experiment. It's all, it's in the grand design of it all. Like that's, you've got to embrace those types of things, right? So I'm so happy that I could do this. And so it's wonderful.
Oh, okay. It just cut out for a second. No, thank you so much for that, Lucy. I also want to shout out Marcy and Marion joining us too. Thank you so much for the congratulations and for the tuning in. And I appreciate what you were saying, Lucy. You know, a couple weeks ago, when for our area, it just everything started shutting down. You know, a lot of us have our entire families getting laid off. It's a precarious time.
Right.
And it's so definitely, as much as I'm excited in this moment, there are those stressors for all of us. We're all living this. We're all at home. I had to kick everyone off the internet to do this. Like it's, you know, we're in a totally different time right now. Yeah. And I was thinking over the last couple of weeks when I was preparing for, you know, getting to April 3rd, do I celebrate? This feels so weird now. And, you know, and absolutely,
Celebrate.
and we do. We need to take these moments, and we can have all the feels at the same time, all the feelings, and at the same time, and be this dual, you know, stressed, and also living, as Jessica Potts would say, living your best life at the same time, living our purpose, doing what we're meant to be doing, regardless of the circumstances, and being in a business that's not, you know, not that many years into it. This isn't necessarily an easy thing to have happen, but I know that our circle of people are actually extra busy right now because we're trying to serve. We've been living and working online for years now. And so there's a lot of people that we can help serve and show them what they can do to connect and support each other. Go ahead.
I'm doing exactly. So I used to be the person that all my friends were like, she does something from home, and it's, you know, and all this kind of like shrouded in mystery kind of weird thing, you know, the internet. She's got this business page on Facebook. It's interesting, right? We're coming a long way. We're all growing up with the social media stuff. That's fine. But what I find really interesting now is that I've been taking the time to teach my friends. They're teachers, they're executives, they work in companies, they work with people all day, every day, and now they have to learn how to connect virtually. And I've had to teach software like Zoom, and I teach, like I'm at heart a teacher, like at the core of myself. I love creating that kind of new experience for somebody and sharing information. So this week alone, it's been like, oh my gosh, I get what you do. Oh, I get it. Oh, you just, okay, so you use these tools. I can talk with anyone on the planet. This is where we're at. And I know these are trying times, but just think of collectively, the entire human race is leveling up right now. We are getting the power of the technologies that already exist and are at our fingertips.
Yes.
You and I could do this on our smartphone. We could do this on tiny little devices and be anywhere, right? And we wouldn't have to be on planes as much. We're learning that business can still continue and go on in a new way. We're reinventing. It's a storm. But then, like in the business cycles, storming, norming, performing. So we're going to get through the storm. We're going to come out of this the other end, and we're going to be brighter and better than ever. Like we really are. And we want to be proud of how we dealt with it in the moment. Right.
And we're being an example to others. So being that sharing the positivity, but also being real about the context too. There's that balancing act as well. So do you have any questions for me for my journey, my business, anything? You can put me on.
I'm going to put my Oprah interviewer hat on. So exciting. Okay, you have to tell me, what was the biggest surprise for you over the last 3 years in entering into self-employment, into having a business?
Great question. And by the way, everyone who's watching, and hi, Linda, thank you so much for joining as well. We've got 4 people here watching live. You know, the big, and we did not prepare this ahead of time. Lucy decided, I reached out, and, you know, within 15 minutes of going on, we have set this up so that there's no prep with questions. Just to clarify the stage here. Biggest surprise, I knew it would be hard. I knew it would not be an overnight thing, that there wouldn't be an income for a very long time. Revenue, yes. Paying for the business, yes. But income, not overnight. And I knew that. But I think I still felt like it would happen faster than it did, you know. So it's that journey of self-talk, and affirmations of, and reminding ourselves of how much we have learned, how far we have come, what we have accomplished, who we've helped, you know, and how, you know, far that journey has taken me already. But, and what success means is not necessarily just the revenue annual revenue or income.
Right.
That, especially the first years.
Okay.
That, you know, so that's been sort of a surprise, not a surprise too. Good question. I will have to give that some more thought as well.
Okay.
And reflect if there's anything else that comes to mind, even in the coming days.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's a good time to kind of go back and remember how far you've come.
Mm-hmm.
What's a fantastic memory that you have over the last 3 years?
Oh, so many. I was just looking back at even all the places that I've filmed, because we're on YouTube. I was doing some reflecting on my YouTube journey, and even looking back at my very first, you know, being in front of the camera. I could speak to thousands of people live, no problem.
Oh.
Getting in front of, you know, because for the last 20 years, I've been speaking, you know, in front of people, but getting on camera was such a different feel. Whether it was edited or live, it was a different feel. So all the different locations that I filmed then for these YouTube videos: Algonquin Park, at Disney, on my stand-up paddleboard, in my office here, which is my dining room, at an outlet mall, in a greenhouse, hiking near my house, in my car even too. And what I started doing, I recently put out a post on Instagram asking what I use these for when I started filming. Can you guess, or anybody in the comments guess what I use this for when I started filming?
They look like googly eyes.
Yes,
they are googly eyes. Okay, so
some of them are more googly. Anybody in the comments want to type what you think I use these for? Not seeing a comment, but I will then share. Oh, third person. Oh, thank you, Linda. That's great for joining me. Yeah, sort of, but Marion, that's a good guess. That's a very good guess. Yes, Bev, that is what I did with my old laptop. So it had an old camera, so the quality wasn't as good as now, but that's okay. I'm a firm believer we start where we are, and we use what we have, and we grow from there. And you're right, Bev. I put 2 of these right on either side of the camera to remind myself that's where I need to be looking, not at myself, because then my eye. So for the replay recording, it's totally different if I'm looking at you, if I'm looking at myself, if I'm worried about what my hair looks like. But if I'm looking at the camera, it's a totally different experience for the person on the other side of that camera watching. So I started with the googly eyes to remind myself, because especially background of some counseling, you know, assessments, helping services, 20 years in the nonprofit sector as a director, and for the last years, and you know, all the stuff working with people. It was all about eye contact.
Of course.
And eye contact online is totally different. So I don't know if that fully answers your question of what was a surprise, but it was part of my journey of discovery on a totally new platform, and how much I love the creative process of editing videos or creating and, you know, just serving my clients, or for what I'm putting out for everybody, that creative process, and how much that lights up my light bulb.
So I totally love hearing that aspect of things. So being lit up by your service to your clients is a big deal. So give me, over the last 3 years, one of those really proud moments, like where you made an impact, you made a difference, and your client got to shine bigger and brighter than ever before. Which one do you cast back to? Which one would you remember?
So many just flood through my brain.
You got to pick one.
So I'll give you a couple examples, and I'll pick from more recent even. There are 2 people recently that came to mind. I mean, there's multitudes, so I don't want to single out anyone. But
celebrate. Which one are you proud of? Which one are you excited about?
A couple of them, and most recently, one of the PowerPoints that I updated for a particular person was it meant so much. And I'll name her, because again, I don't want to leave anybody out.
That's okay.
But, Andrea Davis, and being able to update her PowerPoint. She's one of the CAPS, Canadian Association of Professional Speakers, and from Alberta, and being able to update her PowerPoint presentation. So the few live sessions that were coming up for her. So that was a little bit pre this current time we're in. She felt so much more confidence of her message and the presentation because it was showcasing her even more, right? And that's the point of it, is to just both, you know, a couple clients recently too, just the confidence that it builds and boosts in them, that they can show their best self with a great PowerPoint presentation, because they're great at their like their training, they're facilitating, they're telling their story. They do that and do that well, but it represented them even better. So that's really awesome too.
I love it.
Show on site. I'm not sure if I understand, Marcy. I want to make sure I get the questions too. And love. Oh, thank you so much, Bev. Thank you. I love that. You know, just joining us, whatever amount of time that you can join us, and that you're appreciating. It is awesome, Lucy, being able to have this back and forth conversation instead of just me talking myself.
I'm so happy.
Yeah. And then most recently too, I've been doing a slew of videos on YouTube and presentations, helping people to connect online, giving ideas of new ways that they can connect. So for a few organizations recently, it's been really a privilege to help and support in that way. So yeah, flood of ideas all at once.
I love it. Good stuff.
Do I have a visual example to show us of what I did? Well, I can't hop on YouTube right now to show you a couple videos, but I do have, let me see, I'll bring it up because I can do share screen, which is pretty awesome. So let's try this out, and I can jump to, that one won't work, but I mean, just a second, I will pull these up. And
it's so fun to experiment. I'm sure that we're all take your time. This is so fun. I'm sitting here and I had to close down the YouTube that I was watching. So I don't get to see any of the comments or any of that, right? Because now I'm in this environment. So
yes, which is totally different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share screen, and doing this for the first time live.
Yay.
So now you can see what I'm doing, and a little bit busy. So we'll see if a video presents well. And let's see here. Oh, that's not the, so this is letting you know if it presents how I video edit, but I want to show you the finished product. So I don't know if that's going to be pulling too much. Let's just stop share for a second, and hopefully you still see me.
I still see you, and we're in a different kind of screen now, still split screen. So
okay. So I'm sharing again, but I want to pick a finished product. So
this is so fun.
Yeah.
We're learning, we're celebrating. Yay.
Let's see if this works. Okay. I don't have sound, but no. And this is where I didn't have it ready, Marion. So you know what? I will tell you, I'll stop sharing for a second, but I appreciate that question. And in the future, I'll have things ready to show you. But the presentation I just gave the other day, I created before and after videos of video editing I did for a client, and also what I did when a recording for an online workshop didn't turn out the way I wanted it to for the replay. So those videos are going out the next 2 Tuesdays. You're going to see that as blog extra tips that I give. I have the audio version, might be in podcast, but I will also have it as next Tuesday's YouTube video, and the Tuesday after that, you'll get to see those examples. And on the YouTube channel right now, there is a demo reel showing the examples of the PowerPoints as well. So thank you for that. And I appreciate the question, because testing things live, even though they're in the recording and all this stuff, it shows all of us what's possible, but also to be brave on not being afraid to do something just because it might not work out.
Awesome. That's the only way to learn, right? We got to try things. We got to try things.
Absolutely. And I think too, that's because a big part of how I help people is to reach the variety of learning types in their audience.
Right.
So variety of people in the audience, and we tend to do what we're comfortable with, how we like to receive information. That's how we communicate. So being able to, I have a quiz on my website, and all these links are below. And what I'm going to do too, for the first time, is I can have a banner that goes up, which is very
fancy.
Cool. And I can even have a rotating banner.
Come on.
Yeah. So on this platform, that's pretty cool. So there's links below, but there's a link to, if anyone ever wanted to book a complimentary 30-minute meeting with me, if they have questions or need some help with anything. And also a quiz on my website, so that you can find out what type of learning, what lights you up, how do you like to receive information, and then learn about all the resources. If you facilitate or train, how can you infuse that into your presentations and online trainings, or in person later on when we can get back to that? You can get all those resources for free.
So what kind of, like at a high level, what are the types of learners?
So there's over 7.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's beyond the visual, auditory, hands-on, kinesthetic. There's, some people learn in a more logical way. And so then I have ideas and examples of what you can do to reach that type of learner. And, so there's so many different things that we can infuse. And sometimes it's reaching a variety all at once. So we don't have to get too complicated or do everything, but we're reaching people that like to learn socially, have two-way interaction. But there's some people that like to just process on their own. Just give me a moment to think and read.
Right.
And some people like learn by talking and interacting. Some people like, to learn where they're teaching it, and then they're actually learning even more because it's that interaction. So there's a whole variety of ways, and everyone can get that on the links in the description as well. So I'll get that out.
I love that you talk about that and address it. It's really important. I want to share that I recently learned that in my business. So I started a conversation this year with parents regarding the kinds of conversations that they're having with their young people. And it's led down an interesting path where there are parents asking for workshop kits that they can do an arts and crafts type project with their young people at home. And it's not something I ever saw, but I realized, okay, that's a different way of experiencing my content. Right. And so it's a different way of learning it. And I don't think I would have ever considered myself to put an art kit together, like some sort of an, experiential, hey, let's all put a collage together as a family or as individuals working side by side. It's interesting when you open your mind and someone like yourself, an expert, other eyes come into view and say, hey, this is a different way of experiencing things, a different way of learning things. It's not something I would have seen. Right. Like we need to help each other that way. And we need services like that to help us get our voice out there in those different formats and structures, because that's where we make a bigger impact.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Absolutely. And being
Yeah,
open to diversity in that sense,
right.
to get out of our comfort zones a little bit too, of trying new things, even if they don't go, as well as it will the following time. As
Right.
well. I'm going to answer a couple questions here too,
Sure.
because I'm able to click the comments and see this, which is so much better through this platform than
Ah,
if I was on YouTube directly. It's hard to manage it all, so this makes
ah.
it easier. And Marcy had to go, but super positive thoughts. And I'll double check her question later. Marion, a couple specific examples too, for visual learners, for example, making sure that our PowerPoint slides, or if you don't use PowerPoint, use another slide platform system, to have a picture or make sure we're telling a story. That helps the auditory and the visual for emphasizing your message or whatever you're training and teaching. So Lucy, you had a great example and story that emphasized what you were talking about. When I talk sometimes about the auditory learners, I'll mention my daughter when she was doing her written test for getting her license years ago. And every time on the computer, she would get to the problem question. If she had to do the test again, it would switch it. And she's very bright. So she was having difficulties when I asked, because we all learn and test differently. So I asked if the ladies at the counter, do you do anything for different testing needs? I understand that you have to do what you need to do, but do you accommodate any differences? And they hadn't. I don't know if they've ever had that question before, but the only thing that she could offer was a set of earbuds. As soon as my daughter could hear the question, because in that room you can't read it out loud to yourself, you are just reading it and then you're trying to come up with the answer. As soon as she could hear it be read out loud, she got that test passed, no problem.
Amazing.
So there's so many examples in the resources that I have that give you ideas of how can you infuse even just a couple different elements to reach those other learners that you aren't currently necessarily reaching because they tune out. And especially when we're online. It needs to be more than the traditional webinar where it's one way, no interaction, just hearing, seeing, and it's a lecture. Right. So even on this live, we've got questions coming in, interacting. This is awesome that we're able to bounce off each other as well. And I don't want to keep everyone too long because people won't watch a replay if it's too long, but I do want to make sure I don't forget, if Lucy, you have to go as well, that I'm making a big announcement today live as well. I'm going to be doing, first of all, draws for everyone that has participated today and commented. And so definitely put your name in the comments if you want to be part of the draws. I'm going to be doing some draws. I'm a Canva certified creative, and I have some coupon codes that are like 20 Canva credits and 10 Canva credits. So I'll do some draws with both. Where then on Canva, even if you have a free account, if there's a picture that you need to purchase or an element that costs money typically, but is worth certain number of credits, we're going to be doing that for the first time too, because I haven't used those yet. Because after receiving them, and I want to offer and serve everyone that I, either clients and customers, I will be doing something special for them as well. And my whole community of those of you that, so I'll be doing a bunch of draws, and everyone who books a 30-minute complimentary meeting with me anytime between now and the end of May. And if you need it longer, just let me know. Anyone who then during those meetings decide, and there's absolutely no pressure whatsoever, that's not the way I work. If you decide to then take on one of my program services or, hire me, then there's 20% off, because we're in 2020. This was the big year, even though we weren't expecting all this other big stuff to happen. I'm getting 20% off of those, interactions, those services. So I just want to announce that in this live as well. And information will go out about that too. So that's done. And I will put those in the timestamps if people want to skip over those things.
Okay.
So do you have any other questions for me or anything that you want to say? I don't know if you need to
I'm just so excited for you, and I'm glad that I was able to jump on and have some fun with you. And then you're welcome to just kick me out. I don't know how to exit this situation now.
This will be okay. So I think I'll click remove. So we have tested this live, and we all now, everybody here knows we can do this. And I will do a video in the upcoming weeks about how do we do this as well. So I'll remove. Thank you so much, Lucy.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you. I will continue on the live for anyone that wants to continue, but thank you very much. And now Lucy can hop on to the watch if she wants to. But I know a lot of people were super busy working with clients right now because we work online and there's so much support needed. So I'm going to go through, and those of you joining me, if there's a question or something you want me to talk about, put it in the comments, please. And I'll go through if there's some other things I'm going to share too. I'm going to just do a quick recap of how I started this journey 3 years ago. And it's been over 3 years ago, I decided to leave a director position and had been at this agency for over 10 years. It was really a difficult decision to make, but really felt called that it was the time to move on to the next chapter. Definitely, sorry, I'm looking at myself now and seeing my hair. Not good. Looking at the camera. And so big decision to leave a job before having another job lined up. I don't think I had ever done that before where that was the right decision at that time. So after leaving the position, was going to figure out, okay, what's next? Keep looking for a job. And then had the support from my husband because of such major chapter changing stages for our lives. He encouraged me to go on a solo trip and was super supportive, my husband and my daughters, to go what I call my postcard trip. So these are a bunch of postcards that I then sent from that trip here back home, and went to Europe for the first time solo trip in that sense, first time in Europe, first time backpacking, staying in hostels for 3 weeks. So it's, and thanks Lucy for hopping back on as well. So for 3 weeks, traveled by myself, amazing, life-changing trip. So grateful for that experience. I highly recommend when we could travel again, that for any of you to explore taking a solo trip to recharge or whatever. So after doing those 3 weeks, came back, and it was within the couple weeks that we decided, you know what, the next chapter is to cultivate that seed that had been there for a long time to start my own business. And that's when Regier Educational Services began April 3rd and 3 years ago. So appreciate you being part of this, but that's a quick recap of how this started. And during the last 3 years, it's been, so much learning, growth, and helping people with, I have a Master of Adult Education and 20 years of creating, learning, and I'm going to turn off the banners too, so they're not distracting anybody, because they can. So the 3 years of being able to then use that education, use the experience, and help and live my purpose in a new way. So that's been thrilling to be, to get to this 3-year mark, and to all the clients that have been along the way, a huge shout out, and to all the people that have been part of this journey. I have a super long list, and all of you that have joined me live, so appreciative of this as well. So I made sure the announcements were shared, bit of my story. Love that Lucy was able to join, and I'm so appreciative that all of you that have joined me live, that you have asked questions and interacted. I'm truly grateful. And thank you to all of you who have subscribed, getting me closer to that goal of reaching 100 subscribers so I can name the URL. And just want to express so much gratitude for everybody that has been along this journey with me. Thankfulness to my family, because it is not easy to start a business. And just my heart goes out to all of you because we are dealing with a lot right now. So as much as there's things to celebrate, I encourage you to do that, and also encourage you to just take the time that you need as you need it. What prompted me to take the leap? Thank you, Marion. The first leap to leave my job, it was just, there was a lot of indications that it was time for me, for my growth and what was next and what I could give, to take a leap out, because something wasn't working out fast enough for me to take that leap. I had been waiting and waiting for something to work out for me to step to. So it was incredible to take that leap without having something else there. I grew so much doing that. That leap to go on the solo trip, that was a dream I had back when I was in my teens and in my 20s. I had always wanted to travel to Europe. My aunt had done that when I was just a kid, and she had gone off to Europe backpacking. And that was always a dream, but it just never was the right time. So being able to do that through major changing chapters, it was incredible to grow through that, just the courage when there was the unknown. And I think that all prepared me to take the step to start my own business. I had always thought someday, retirement income, there's so much I could do, that it just felt like the right timing, because something else wasn't working out, because I think I was meant to do this. And the only way that this was going to happen is if all those other things didn't line up, because this was the purpose. So thanks for asking that question. I know I answered it for those 3 leaps. And there's been so many leaps since then. And it's a big leap right now for all of us to have the faith and courage that we're all going to get through this one way or the other. Even though things are life-changing right now, for all of us, that we're getting through this, and we will adapt. So thank you, Marion. I'm going to open up any final questions before I wrap up the live. This is so exciting. My last live was, I think, around 12 minutes. So this is amazing. And just thank you to all of you for being part of this journey now and going forward. And thank you. That's what I hope you have a light bulb learning moment today, or that there was something that you took away from this live on YouTube as well. And I just encourage you to reach the variety in your audience and try something new. So even if you're not certain how it's going to turn out, that's okay. We learn and grow. So thank you so much. My name is Patricia Regier. This is Regier Educational Services. There's links below. And thank you for being part of this celebration of 3 years in business. Appreciate you. And until next time, stay safe and well.